Good evening. It's a very late night. Daughter's asleep on the other side of that wall, so I got to keep it down a little bit. But we're going to dive right in. I got a little bit more rust to patch in the back of this thing, but I'll spare you the details on that. What we're going to do right now is start trying to see if we can get a headliner in this thing. I've been putting it off because I didn't want to go put a headliner in and then spray sparks at it. But I've got it down to enough where it's just some rust in the back of this thing. So we're going to start by seeing if we can get some headliner in the front. So as you can see, it's pretty much, not great, but it's got these little strips. This is a 72 International Travelall 1010. It's a little bit different style than what I'm used to seeing, but I think we're going to see what we have to do to get some pieces slid up here in the front. So I ordered a headliner kit from, it's called like IH Parts of America. I don't think they actually make it. They get it from somebody else. I don't know. But it came in a nice rolled up box somewhere over here. In this nice box. Now, interestingly enough, they're all like different sizes and none of it's like labeled what is what. So we're just going to pull a piece out and see if we can figure this out. Well, you can see this thing a little bit better. It is an off-white, and it's basically just a cardboard. Not basically, it is. That's rolled up. I can tell there's one small strip, which is going to be the last strip, I think is the narrowest. I think these are all about the same. I can't exactly tell how these all mount, but I think we're just going to have to start going for it. Okay, yeah, let's do it. I don't really know what I'm doing here if I'm being honest, but I just took the screws out of this and I've relaxed all the screws out of the stainless mounting strips. And then I'll at least let this old one come down. So there's our old one. We could maybe hold this up to our new one and use it as a template to cut out our notch here for the light. Kind of just guessing on this, and I don't know. You know what? I think we're in it now. We're just gonna cut a hole in it. Hopefully I don't regret this. Take a break for a minute. Probably trim this thing. Should probably get a second set of hands, which I'm not going to get. And we'll come back to it when I'm getting ready. Well, a little bit of perseverance. Pulled that strip down. Was able to get this slid back in. I got most of the screws in this side where I made my transfer marks on the back side of this. Appears to be in the right spot, which I poked through, which was off by a whole hole size, so 2 inches to when I marked it on the bottom side. So I got some Sharpie marks on the bottom here, but I can live with that, and I can probably wipe them off later with something. But for now, I gotta try to play surgeon here. Now, the piece I'm afraid of is if this headliner is like just a touch too long to where it's really wanting to bow on me. But if I have to, I don't know, I'll trim some. That thing just absolutely bought me like a bear, but it is in. That is one panel just to show you that it's done. Even got the light mounted up. You can see what I mean by I've got a couple of Sharpie marks where I had transferred a bad transfer. So I'll have to, get out some hand sanitizer or something to get those off, but it actually, you know, turned out pretty good, I would say. You know, it's a little, I still got to get that last screw in there, but there's no point because I'm going to end up having to pretty much drop a side down to fit like that next panel in and drop this side to fit this panel back in. So what an absolute pain. It goes to show you this would have been way easier and probably taken half the time if I just, you know, asked for some help from some people. But you know what? That got me one piece in and I'm starting to see the vision. I don't want to get too carried away because I do have to go cut some more stuff out back there. And seeing how white this thing is, I do not want to be spraying any more grinding grit in here than I have to. I was just getting fed up on just patch and rust, and I wanted to start to get a vision of what this interior is going to look like done, just to kind of get me motivated again to get going on this. So sometimes that's what you got to do, is just go throw a piece at it so you can see a little bit of that vision of why you're doing what you're doing. The only thing that's starting to make me really question myself is I'm doing a nice headliner. I'm replacing all the rust in this thing and doing new steel floors. I've got brand new carpet to go put in this thing. And then I've got the old crummy seats that I'm planning on just putting back in here. Because I'll be honest with you, it's all I can really afford right now. I want to go put some really nice bench seats in this thing, but I'd have to order a minimum of 2, and this thing takes a third in the back. At some point I might need the 3rd row seating. Right now I really don't, but it's just hard to go spend it. I'm going to spend easily over $3,000 in the seats I'd want to go put in this thing. And then I've also got to figure out door panels, because that sucks. And I hate this green color, if I'm being honest. And that's what's part of making me think of like, man, just go, you're not that far off. Just paint the inside of this thing and be done. But now I've put this on top to where I don't really want to be spraying a ton in here. So I don't know. Maybe I'll end up having to pull this back out. But you know what? That motivates me to just go get the thing running, get an interior in it in some form. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get an interior in it so I can go get to cruising with my family. And then whatever bugs me the most, I'll go change that next. So take some of that advice. Don't feel like you have to go fully gut your project and build just an all-out 10 out of 10 show car. Just fix it enough to be able to go enjoy it. And then whatever bugs you the most, go fix that. Sorry I didn't record much. This thing was just kicking my butt every time I felt like I had the camera on. And it's super late and I got to wake up in not enough hours to go to the job that actually pays me. So I'm going to go lay my head on a pillow for, I don't know, 10 minutes or whatever I got left before I got to head into working a long day. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this motivated you guys. Stick with it even when you're frustrated. Or maybe you learned that, hey, if I go do a headliner, I'm going to ask for help instead of struggling, because that looked like it sucked. Yeah, I don't know. Just get out and work on your stuff. I'd love to hear from you. Comment, subscribe, like, do all the stuff. I love to chat in the comments. This was a rough one, I'm not going to lie. Hopefully they get better from here, and I can't wait to show you when I get the full headliner in this thing what it looks like completely done. Thanks, y'all.